I think that most men, definitely with the second part, they don't want to have they don't want you to be another argument. Men don't want you to be another argument. Most men I know, me, because I don't want to make it. I don't want to talk for other men.
Well, you're talking for me.
Most men I know, me.
I don't want you to be another argument. I don't want to come home and you be another argument or another thing I have to think about. You understand?
You want your missus to be your peace.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects, you're welcome to Eloquently Say Nothing. This is episode 95, I think. Yeah, Stab ain't here, innit? Stab ain't here for once, so here is your host, Wahala for once, damn it. Wahala's in the building. Hashtag ESN pod. Catch us at esnpodcast@gmail.com on the emails.
Plug.
At ESN Podcast on Instagram and Twitter.
Plug.
And at Facebook is... What is it on Facebook still? I think it's ESN Posh, innit? /ESN Podcast on Facebook.
Plug.
Yeah? So again, that's hashtag ESN Pod. At ESN Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. And if you want to get us on the emails, it's esnpodcast@gmail.com.
Plug.
And on my left, we have...
From the moment you came to my abode, I knew what you were thinking. I knew... Oh, fuck.
Good. Nobody wants to hear from the actor. Nobody wants to hear it from you either.
No, I'm about to do this. All right, Rebo, here we go.
Rewind selector.
From the moment you came to my abode, I knew what you were thinking. I asked if you needed some air. You couldn't speak. I know you didn't come to watch television. It was obvious to me that it was sexual intercourse you wanted. So why didn't you present her to me? And if, after some time, you feel something walking in your abdomen, you should hold your head with pride and say, Simple Simon, you have bred me. Simple Simon, you have bred me. No, I will never dispose of your fetus. No, I will never dispose of your fetus.
Is that not... Are you trying to poetically put... Man, that's really baby. All right.
God's always forever. Blood clot.
Let's not remember you know that.
Yeah.
Who is that then?
That is Vibes Cartel.
It's the Honourable Vibes Cartel.
The Honourable Vibes Cartel.
And you said it in poetry form.
It was a poet by Vibes Cartel. Originally, it is how do we say?
Man.
From you come on my yard, me don't know where you are pre. Me ask if you need some air, you can't speak. Me know you don't come for watch TV. Don't see how fuck you want, skin out this high pussy give me. And if you feel something a crawling on your belly, put your head in the air and sing. Cartel come breed me.
And I got dash with the baby.
Me not dash with the baby.
And then his left we have.
If a season is not so good, persevere. The good season would soon come. That means persevere and keep hope alive. Tough times.
Liverpool proverbs.
Innit? Sound like winter is coming to me, boy.
Persevere and keep hope alive. Tough times won't last forever. Let a man finish the Nigerian Europe proverb.
It sounded like a Liverpool proverb. You never
walk alone.
Hope in your heart.
Oh, you don't even want to hear it, man.
Original Celtic song.
Innit? No.
Well, alright, guys. So this week we have no Stavros Boss and we have no the actor. Unfortunately, both of them cannot be here. So we've only got the three of us here this week, which I think is enough. I think we're a good squad.
Yeah,
we're bound.
We're like we're the fringe members, or what do they call it? Fringe members
of the
because those two were the first originals, innit?
It's true.
So we're the fringe members now. We're taking over this bitch.
one time.
We might as well rename it while we're at it as well. Call it something else. But yeah, man. So let's start off with how you guys been? Because simple, you ain't been here for a couple of weeks still. You weren't here last week. So how you been, man? What's been going on? What's been popping?
Boy, life has been busy, boy. Some stuff at work is going off.
You're sweating like you've gone through it, bro.
But trust me, man. I'm like 12 years asleep. A lot of stuff been going on work-wise. Outside of that, family's been good. Everyone's been good. I lost that auntie, but
Oh man, sorry to hear that. You didn't tell us, man.
It happens, and it happens.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to the auntie. Hopefully, she's gone to a better place than here because this place is trash.
For real?
So
For real?
let's hope that she's gone to a better place where there's no social media and people just get on with their life and enjoy themselves.
That's a good question, though. Is there social media in the afterlife?
Maybe, potentially.
It has to keep up, innit? The afterlife has to keep up with what's going on and stuff.
Hopefully, it's probably social media in the afterlife. If it's hell, you don't get retweets, and you just keep tweeting and you don't get retweets. And if it's my hell, you just get Mr. Wolf videos every 5 minutes.
God.
And if it's heaven, you get the retweets and you get likes and everybody follows you. Jesus follows you, God follows you, Muhammad follows you.
Wow, deep.
All of the whatever
all the people you spend your whole life following are now following you.
Following you in faith.
I'll tell you what's so funny, yeah. My dad recently got into this whole WhatsApp thing, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And he, thankfully, hasn't been doing the typical uncle and auntie thing of sending around the prayers and all the rest of it. And if you don't pass,
give it time.
If you don't pass this chain later on, you
give it time.
You know what he's been sending around?
What?
Video of Grease. Like, man's getting shot, all kinds of stuff. He's sending me videos of Grease, like, yo, look what's happening. And I'm like, yo, dad, calm down. And then I think it was yesterday, day before, he read out one to me, yeah, that nearly finished me off. He goes, hey, have you heard this? Check this out. For the first time, an event that happens every 1,000 years is now occurring. Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, today and on this day today, if you take the year you were born and add your age to it, it equals 2018.
Yeah.
So when he said it to me initially, I was thinking to myself, why does this sound like it makes sense? Then I goes to him, yeah, but obviously that will happen. He said, why is that? I said, if you do it next year, it will happen as well.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, the year you're born plus the number of years you've lived is always going to be today. He was looking at me like
you're a witch.
Like I was a witch. And then I had to, when I practically told him, he was like, oh, you know what? It's the order of words. I said, yeah, of course, the order of words that they put on there make it seem like it's something.
They put it in the group chat, in my group chat as well. And my niece had to come and cuss all of us because you're like, oh my God. And she's like, you do know it's just, I was like, oh, sorry. That one's going to be the doctor anyway. I'm relying on her to make me money in life.
That's what I'm going to have to give to my niece. Dad.
I'm relying on her to make me the money because I'm not planning on working for long. Mr. Wolf.
Yo, what's going on?
How was your week, bruv?
It was good, man. It was good. Work-related wise, I've been working practically every single day.
As they should make you do, damn it.
Well, I don't know, man. But other than that, good, man. Enjoying life, trying to make the most of it, and spreading the word.
Which word?
The give blood word, actually.
Oh, okay. You're an evangelist now.
I am doing a thing. And just
you ain't using Twitter to do it, though, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm using my contacts on WhatsApp, actually, which will be more. It'll make more sense, I think, because right now I don't have that many followers on the Twitter and on the Insta. But to go back in terms of the numbers that we spoke about last week,
yeah,
they are actually correct. Done a little bit of research, spoke to a few people. There are approximately 15,000 people diagnosed with sickle cell in this country, and 10,000 of those are in London. The blood is prioritized to people of the BAME community. So yeah, there was a little bit of confusion about that last week.
Okay.
But yeah, man. Go out there, give blood. And I sent out one video to the group, which the guys actually liked.
I saw it before you sent it.
Bad video, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. You want to explain the video that you're talking about?
Done a little bit of research on the young man. That
do you remember his name?
His name is Adeyemi Micheal.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a short film that was aired at View Cinemas, Leicester Square. Unfortunately, it has gone by. I'm going to see if they're going to air it again. But it was on the 16th and the 17th at Leicester Square View. And he done a short film on his mother. And his mum was dressed up in native attire, gele and everything, proper rapper,
Yes,
and she was riding a black horse through Peckham.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that blew my mind because I don't understand why there's a horseback Nigerian auntie in Peckham riding horses.
I think it's more the artistic look of it. She was sat on the horse looking like a proper queen, man. And I would have liked to have seen the full length version, but I have actually retweeted it on my Twitter. So go on there and yeah. Go
So what's your Twitter, bro? None of you lot gave your handles, by the way. So what's your Twitter, bro?
AKA Mr. Wolf, AKA _Mr. Wolf.
Yeah.
That's my Twitter handle, and we'll also retweet it on our ESN Twitter page as well.
So he was
short film.
He was basically paying homage to his mother.
One time.
So let's segue into something that you put in the group again.
Yes.
So a lady, I don't know her name. She's just a Nigerian lady, I believe.
She's a Afrobeat artist. She's pretty good, actually.
I don't know. I can't remember her name still. Do you remember the name?
Kimmy, innit?
Kimmy who?
Simi.
Okay, Simi. So Simi must have put out a tweet in Twitter to say, because that's my woman voice. If the Niger, I think she was talking about Nigerian men in particular.
Was she?
I think she was
talking about men, bro.
I thought she said Nigerian men.
I thought she was just talking about men generally.
But let's say, okay, men. If men treated their wifeys the same way as their mothers, surely that would make things better in life. That's what she was kind of saying. Do you want me to get the verbatim thing?
Yeah. If you can.
Let me see if I can get the verbatim thing because it's coming up now. She said African men.
African men, okay.
And she posted a tweet asking African men to treat their women the same way they treat their mothers. So he said, I'm going to pause it. She said, African men would break everything. I don't know what that even means. African men would break everything, do anything, let the word burn for their mothers. Imagine keeping the same energy for your woman. Again, I will say, African men would break everything, do anything, let the world burn for their mothers. Imagine keeping the same energy for your woman.
Can I just say
a man
before you jump in and hold your thought there, yeah? I think that maybe her circle ain't that big. She's known in Nigeria, innit? So I'm gonna say that she's saying African men because she only knows African men.
Okay.
Maybe perhaps because to me this is based on all men. But anyway, go ahead.
But she said African men. But
I know she said African.
So what she's basically saying is she wants African men to do everything for their women and don't bang.
In a way.
That's what I got from it.
In a way. How? Because you don't bang your mum, do you? But you do everything else for her.
You do everything else. That's what she wants.
That's not what he's saying.
Cool.
Obviously, he's being sarcastic.
Bantering,
but on a level, do you think, because there was a lot of replies back from African men saying, well, my mum held me in my womb for 9 months, did this for me, did that for me. Are you doing all of that for me? No. So why am I now giving you the same props as my mum? Some people are like, well, somebody wrote, when my mum's angry at me, she still picks up my phone calls. Do you lot do that? No. Stuff like that.
I was disappointed with the mandem's responses in them tweets because, to be honest with you, I just thought you lot are just gone ultra petty here. Mm-hmm. I get the essence of what she was trying to say. She used a really bad metaphor. I don't know if that's even a metaphor. Simile, whatever. She used a really bad one. Like, so, you treat your mother this way. Because it doesn't matter what happens. And I know that if Stavros was here, Stavros is probably listening to this now, kicking himself. But for me, I don't know if there is a point where you can do a contrast between your mother and your wife and who tops who. Because for me, the answer is obvious.
And what is the answer?
Your mum.
Okay.
All day long.
It depends on what mother you got.
There's that. Okay.
There's some men that's been saved by their wives, boy, because their mums ruined them.
Yes, true.
And then you'll also have some mothers wanting you to side on for your wives as well.
Yeah, because you know there was that thing that was on the timeline, and it came back up again this week actually at one point about who should sit in the front seat of the car when your mum and your wife is in the car. Who should sit in the front seat? And I replied back to them, one of them saying, because this happens all the time, because me, my mum, and my fiance and my dad often drive together because I live the closest to them, so I tend to pick them up because I'm the best child. So then, when we're trying to drop them off in it, obviously, or there's times when my dad's not there, so it would just be me, my fiance, and my mum. And my mum would actually, even if she was in the front seat before, we almost been waiting to get out of the car to sit in the back so my fiance can sit at the front. We have to say, "Mum, stay." And the reason why she says that is because she says no one, not even me, should come between a husband and his wife. Right,
and that kind of goes back to what I was saying, innit? And that's what, in my opinion, a good mother would do.
Mama Wahala is going on deep, but
yeah, she said no. She said no, including me, shouldn't come between a man and his wife. So in that situation, she says, I'm sitting in the back. What reason do I need to be forcing myself into the front seat? Obviously, there's some extra leg room, but you can pull the seat forward, and the person can have extra leg room at the back. It makes no difference. So I get why the tweet that she's saying, But I think your mother and your fiance or your wife or your son are two different people. I don't think you should be comparing them.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. But I think that you find that some men and women, in that case, they tend to find a woman that is similar to their mum, and some men some women tend to find a man that is similar to their dad.
If they know their dad.
If they know their mother and their father and their parents are upstanding.
No, because it's true. You don't.
It's true, and they're upstanding individuals, innit? You know, so if a woman's first love is their dad, and he sets a great example of how to be a good man, how to treat their mum or how to treat women that are in their family, and they grow up and he sets such a high standard, I'm kind of assuming that they're going to look for a guy that is similar to that. And on the flip side of that, if their dad is whatless, beats their mum all around the place, cheats all around the place, then she may think that it's okay to accept that.
I think most times they try to run away from the dad that's like that, and they don't try to accept that. But that's my knowledge. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about us as men. I don't think I look for a woman that's like my mum. I don't think I've ever looked for anyone.
Do you think there's any such similarities between your missus and your mum?
No, not really.
One time I went out with a girl that has the same name as my mum.
That's a madness.
It
was just not right.
Well, it wouldn't matter to me because I don't know my mum's name really.
That's not the reason why I went out with her. But
Yeah, no.
when it came about, I was like, this is mad. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, he's crazy.
Yeah, but because no one really calls my mum's name, I don't notice. I wouldn't even notice it. I wouldn't even blink. I wouldn't even blink because as far as I can say, no one calls my mum's name. I never call my mum's name, so that's if I call that name, my mum's not gonna turn around thinking it's her I'm talking to. She won't even turn around anyway. It would just be a shoot to the face or some form of weapon. So I don't think that would be a big problem for me. But yeah, I don't. My fiance and my mum, they're not similar people. I don't think they're similar in any ways. So no, I don't. For me, I go for the person that I like. I don't have this type of. I need this type of person that's like this and like that. If I like you at the time, that's who I like, innit? It is. I don't have that type of. You need to be like this. You need to be like that. So. I don't know. I always think that you should never compare your mum and your woman. Just let them be two separate entities.
It's dangerous, isn't it?
And I don't think that women, and this is the thing I got about women, I don't think men do it as much as women. They need to stop comparing themselves to your female friends and your female siblings and family members.
No, I agree.
And how you treat them. Because as far as I said, what's that got to do with anything of how I treat you? If I treat you how I treat you, I treat you them how I treat them. You're different people.
And that's I was coming to that point there. My thing is this, yeah. I've learned over time that it's not fruitful to compare people to each other because people are different. That's just the beginning and the end of. Like, a lot of people have this. Oh, this person's better than that person, or they're not as good as that person. For me, these people are different, and that is the base understanding that you need to have, and then you can work from there. The time when you start to compare people for like points to points, you've lost it as far as I'm concerned, because each individual, like you said, comes with different things. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Their life experiences of different things, so you can't compare them apples to apples and pears to pears because they're different people.
I don't think that this Simi is looking at the ultimate comparison between mother and daughter. I think that she's just talking about some of the basics that you want from your man, innit?
Yeah, but when I hear that. But when you start confounding it by putting this comparison in there, you lose that message.
So like in this situation, they might be saying, "Oh, well, why are you?" Again, she said, "Burn, let the world burn," and all this type of stuff for your mum. So let's use a simple example. If my mum calls me to go from where I live to where she lives to pick up something for her, or to go and take her somewhere, I will do it. But my mum's old. Mm-hmm. You're a young woman. I'm assuming if you're with me, you don't need me to. You do not need me as much as my mum would need me to do that thing for you. Mm-hmm. So why would you then say, well, you do it for your mum, but you don't do it for me?
Benny.
And there's stuff like that. Oh, okay. So your mum, I don't know, because as well as if you compare yourself to the mum, he's doing mum-like things. So you're saying maybe he doesn't argue with his mum. Well, he wouldn't argue with his mum because all his life he's been trained not to argue with his mum. But he's not been trained not to argue with you, so he's got to argue with you.
Benny.
What things are you looking for that he does for his mum that he doesn't do that he does for you? What things are they?
I don't even think she's talking about those.
So then what is she referring to then?
Like, what I was saying is, when you boil it down, the basic things that you want from your man, like respect, that you want your man to show your woman and to show her a certain level of love, perhaps not the same love, obviously, that you give to your mother, but respect, love. Leadership, all these different things.
But what? Give me an example.
Well, for me, I don't understand why someone's trying to compare themselves to my mum.
Yeah.
Straight.
You're not my mum.
Straight. It don't make sense.
If you was, the only person you can really compare yourself to, but is hardly gonna be likely you'll be able to, is any partner that I've had, because they're the one that's on the same level as you.
And even then,
yeah, you're all still different women.
Exactly.
And you all deal with me in different ways, and you're all gonna get different reactions out of me.
Exactly.
So, but what I'm asking is, what example are you saying to me that you can compare me dealing with my mum to dealing with you? And there's some women that want you to treat them better than you treat their mum, or make them above their mum because they're jealous of your mum. And I'm like, why can you be jealous of somebody's mum?
I think it's possible to be jealous of someone's mum.
But why? Why would you be jealous of somebody's mum?
Because you
ever been jealous of somebody's dad?
No, listen, but I'm sure that there are some scenarios where, I don't know, a man is showing more attention, and you can call these a mummy's boy perhaps, that they're showing more attention to their mum, that obviously when their mum calls, they're quick to pick up their phone call.
Damn right.
They're quick to respond to texts and things like that. And that is how it should be. When their mum asks them to do something like get the shopping or to do something that she can't do, they're quick to respond.
Shamanana.
You understand what I'm
As
saying?
you should do.
Exactly. But maybe, and this is what I'm saying, that there is a way that you can compare perhaps, but not with those particular scenarios. So when it comes to responses, okay, so your missus may have texted you, you're not texting her straight back. Your missus may have called you, you're not calling her straight back. She may have asked you to do something that she can't do maybe, and you are not doing it straight away. #shower. You get me?
Stav is getting the flame still.
Well, you know what I mean? He's not here. But those are small examples, innit? So there are some things that a woman wants from her man, innit? So if a woman is asking for these things and a man is not forthcoming, but yet his mum, click of the fingers, boom, and then
you've been conditioned for years to do that, though.
And that's fine. But now you're looking to enter into a new life with your missus. You must now train yourself, or your mum perhaps should train you. Part of the training should be to cater for your woman.
Yeah, I kind of understand and agree with that. Sorry, simple. You speak because I've spoken.
I was gonna say, basically, I treat people how they treat me or how they show me that they want to be treated. So, for example,
why can't you lead and do that?
No, because for example, like my missus will ask me to do something, and I will drop it and do it as fast as I can do it. Yeah, get it done. Boom, boom, boom. But whenever I ask her to do something, it takes forever. So there was a little while. No, seriously, there was a little while where anything she asks me for, I'm dropping whatever I'm doing. Boom, boom, boom. It's done. Oh, thank you. Cool. Ask her to do something, doesn't get done. I'm like, yo, can you do this thing for me? Oh yeah, I just need to do. And then it got to the point where I was like, well, why am I dropping everything fast to do stuff quickly?
Ask your mum to do the thing immediate.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Mummy will do it immediately.
Immediately.
If I ask my mum right now, Mum, I'm hungry, can I get some food? Immediately whenever I get to the house.
You understand what I'm saying to you? So
I Shazam the put out of nowhere.
So my thing is, I would treat you based on how you show me. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I come with my standard. And my standard is, if my woman asks me to do something, I'll drop it and do it quick. For two reasons. One, because I don't know how urgent that thing is for you, or if you haven't laid it out to me. And also for two, I don't want it to be a thing where I say, yeah, I'm going to do it, and then it doesn't get done. Because that could happen with me. So I think, all right, let me just knock it out, do it to the best quality that I can do it to, and then present it to you, and then we move on from there. When I see that this is a one-sided thing or what have you, and then it doesn't work on the other side, it doesn't mean that I should stop doing it, but it makes me less energized, less motivated, and less inclined to. So now, before where I would drop the thing and do it straight away, now I might take a day or two because I put it in a priority list. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But the thing that I don't know what it is. Just go to say something. The thing I'm thinking about is at times is when they want you to. This is where the problem lies, right? Is when they want you to side with them over your mum.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
That's when I say, boy, I don't know how does that work.
I think
it's not my
asked
argument.
That kind of question before in a previous podcast.
Yeah, but how does that work, man? You can't win in them situations. There, you just if I was you, I'd just sit next to your dad and just be calm.
That's what you do.
And just tell your dad to sort it out.
That's what you do.
You're the older dad, sort this out because I don't know what I'm doing out here.
Go to him for counsel. Just say, yo, dad, how does this situation work?
Yeah, for real.
But my dad would just look at me, boy. I'd be like, boy, you know,
you're on your own, son.
My dad would be like, oh, this one, go and get a Guinness.
But again, I think that your mum would tell you to do what your woman wants.
That's one times, depending on what type of situation your mum would be on. It might not be on that.
Most occasions,
she'll be on the flex of again. Stav's one of Stav's favorite films is White Men Can't Jump. Right? You remember in White Men Can't Jump when the man needed money in the end Right? Have you seen White Man Can't Jump?
Yeah.
You've all seen it.
Of course.
Right. So the man needs the money. So Wesley Snipes needs the money, and he goes to Billy Hoyt, the white boy, and said, "Look, we need to do one more basketball game. One more. I need the money. You know, I got kicked out of my yard. You're my boy. Let's go get this money." Now his wife has already told him, "If you do this thing again, I'm gonna leave you, Billy." And he said, "Yeah, cool. I'm not doing it anymore. But your man them need you in it.
Yeah.
Your man them need you in it.
Yeah.
So what you do? You pick up your basketball, you go out there, and you win. You win big even. You come back with big money. But when you get home, she's gone because she said, if you do this again, Billy, I'm going." But the thing that made me laugh, but you have to take into consideration, is that the person that actually told you to go with them to make this money said to you, at the end, what did I tell you? Listen to your woman. So even though he was the one that tried to convince him, he's still saying that what you should have done is listen to your woman.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing in this situation with your mum.
That's
your
what
mum will,
Wesley Snipes said.
your mum will be telling you, she's a good mum, by the way, because some mums don't care about the daughter-in-law's life at all. Yeah,
there are some, especially if they don't like her.
Yeah,
they're trash.
So they'll be like, no, and they'll have their beef. But if she's a good mum, she would have said, you either don't get involved or you side with your wife. You don't come and you don't have to attack me to side with your wife. Or you know how to take your wife to go and take her away or get out of that situation. What you don't do is side with me over your wife, in front of your wife, or in front of us all here. So she looks shamed that she hasn't got a husband that's gonna back her. That's what a good mum will tell you. Or let me not say a good mum, but a mum that is happy with the daughter-in-law.
So, well, hang on, mate. You know what I've got a problem with this backing thing, yeah?
What's this?
I've got a problem with backing your missus when she's wrong out in public.
Oh, I have a big problem with this as well.
Massive problem.
I just try not to say nothing.
Do you have a problem because you do it and it vexes you, or that you're put in that situation, or maybe even both?
No, I've never been put in a situation, but I have a problem with the psychology of the woman that says that you should back her regardless.
Because it's disingenuous.
I think it depends.
Because now you're stupid.
Yes.
And I'm backing your stupidity.
Yes.
I think it depends on the scenario that you're in. Because there are some situations where you can have your child, for example, a young child, it could be toddler age or even early teenage age, that you would back them in public, even though you know that they're wrong, take them home and give them a beating.
I don't know if I'd do that for a child.
For me, I would. There are certain situations, in my opinion, that it is viable to do that.
And give me an example.
And there's,
because that's what that's what parents have been doing for children at school these days, and that's why the children are all stupid.
Exactly.
And the teachers ain't got no power.
No.
What I won't do in front.
I think there's many examples where you wouldn't back them. Like, for example, when they're fooling around in school, that's when you show them in their face that no matter what you're doing, I'm not co-signing your foolishness.
But a lot of parents don't. A lot of parents go in there, shout for their children, blah blah blah, and then when they get home, why did you put me in that situation? But when it's for me, I'm from the old school. My dad will see them clap me in my face and be like, yes, you should have got clapped.
Yeah,
blatantly, because as far as he's concerned, you decided you wanted to wild out. You have the consequences of your wilding out. Don't have me there jumping for you because you've done a foolishness. And I get what Simple's saying. I don't like being. You know what the worst thing is as well, and it can be bad if the person is saying something that you yourself also agree with.
Yes.
So give me an example where you would back your woman in public.
How about my woman, even if she's wrong? Oh, I don't know, man.
It's a hard one, isn't it?
I don't know.
I mean,
there's a difference between backing her and agreeing with what she's saying.
Yes.
So if somebody's being aggressive or being rude or disrespecting my woman because of something she said that's wrong, I'm going to back her because she's my woman. Because you shouldn't be disrespectful to my woman regardless. Yeah? Right?
Swear for God.
Yeah? But if she's having a debate or conversation with somebody and she's in the wrong, and I know she's in the wrong, and I actually agree with the other person, I'm not going to back you because why am I now backing something that I don't truly believe in?
So what do you do? Do you say nothing, or do you pretend like you're not listening to what's being said?
If I'm involved in the debate, if they bring me in, I'll say, I kind of agree with the other person. Because then that's what I'll do. But because my thing is this. Another thing that women do is they hold you accountable for the shit that you say, bruv.
Yeah.
Right? So if I said it today, now that I agree with you today, and then we having that same argument again tomorrow, and I said what you're saying is bullshit, they will hold me accountable for the thing I said yesterday, which was agreeing with her that it was okay.
It's true.
So that's why I'm saying no. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you on that situation. I get what you're saying sometimes, but I don't agree with that. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, there are times when a kid has done wrong, and then maybe an adult oversteps their boundaries when it comes to maybe setting them straight or their discipline. So it's situations like that. So it could be in school where the kid is messed up.
Why do you keep bringing kids? We're talking about your woman, bro.
Yeah, I was just thinking about an example with relation to kids in it, and I couldn't think of one. And I do recall that there was one situation where a teacher overstepped their boundaries, and even though my son was in the wrong, I just wasn't having it. And it's the same thing.
But did you do it in front of your son, or did you take your son to the side and tell him, I'm going to speak to you later, and then go to the teacher and then deal with the teacher separately?
No, I interjected when the teacher was going ham on him.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Even when I'm there, you don't need to do that when I'm there. When I'm there, you tell me, and I'll do that when I'm in front of you. But I still need to allow the teacher to know that he's got the power.
Yeah.
Or they got the power, because it might be a female teacher. I don't know. They're the ones that wild out more even. But your woman. It's okay. Your woman's out in the publics. She's saying some shit that you do not agree with. You do not agree with at all.
Yeah.
She said that Stavros is slim, and you just didn't agree with that.
I'm doing the same thing. I mean,
doing what?
I'm doing the same thing as you guys. If I believe that she is wrong and that I don't, believe in her rhetoric with a certain debate,
and call it rhetoric.
then I'm just gonna leave her innit, to debate away innit, and I won't come and back her. You know what I mean? If she asks for my opinion, then I'll say nah.
Okay.
What about keeping up appearances? Would you still stand next to her, like with the same proximity, or would you slightly be stepping sideways to get out of it?
Nah. I'll stay right there, man.
Like simple, what's his name? Homer Simpson just disappearing into the bushes.
Yeah, boy.
I'll stay right there.
Them one thing's there.
Let me read something that I'll put in the group. It was a picture, yeah. It kind of relates to what we're talking about. Yeah?
Okay.
It says, nowadays, sex or food doesn't keep a man anymore, sisters. Inner peace does. These men go through a lot too. They act strong outside, but inside they just want to tell it all. Be a man's peace. Don't become another fight he has to try and win.
Pick me, hey, pick me.
Now,
is that a woman that would feed that?
It was on a woman's WhatsApp status.
Women don't like that, boy.
Pick me.
They don't.
Women do not like other women chatting this type of rhetoric, as you put it before.
And I tell you what, it for me, I just put a few bomb signs there. I think that you dropped a bomb, because men are not very good at displaying their emotions, innit?
That's not true.
Okay.
Because when football's on, we do it quite clearly. And
okay.
Quite
well, then I would say they're a particular type of emotion, because it's very easy when you've missed an open goal and you're looking to win, and oh my God, you fool, you idiot, or whatever. In the midst of maybe other men, when it comes to sporting occasions, yes. But when it comes to personal issues, we spoke about mental health on a few podcasts, and that men find it difficult to find counsel within their brethren when it comes to certain things, So when they have a woman who can't identify that, and they're bringing their own baggage and their own luggage, and they're complaining to them that, why don't you treat me nice like you treat your mum? Maybe perhaps they need to take a step back, analyze their man, and think, hold on, is my man going through some shit too?
I don't know. I kind of think that maybe we are misidentifying, or we misidentify male emotional expression on certain subjects. So football was given as an example, or I should say sport as a thing, as an example, because I think if you saw somebody who was into basketball, watching basketball, it would be similar levels of elevated emotion as you would with somebody with football, American football, any sport, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that I would put to you the notion that, let's say as men, we have a suite of emotions that are specific to scenarios. So for example, we have the sports suite of emotions, which is high noise, high gesticulation, or what have you. Then we have the personal issues suite of emotions that are a massive contrast to the sports ones, but they're just as significant. The difference is maybe you have to look with more detail at the signs.
So you would say that maybe the sports one are kind of masculine, like, yeah, you're showing that emotion, but the other ones, I wouldn't say are feminine, but because people are saying that when men cry, you know, I don't know what the term is. A good man will cry at any time or whatever. But men don't tend to display their emotions through tears and through that kind of emotion.
So I'm saying that what we have done here is we've taken the identifiers for emotional stuff that we are normally attribute to women, and we're applying them directly to men.
Okay, well then I'm talking about trauma then. When men are going through a certain trauma, how are they showing that emotion? And when they do show that emotion, can a woman identify it as an issue that they're going through?
And this is the thing. I think when you take time out to actually analyze male behavior under these trauma situations and the rest of it, there are identifiable signs for that individual person. Mm-hmm. But what we have done is we've looked at this emotional response as a whole, and we've decided that when somebody says this piece of information to you, this is the emotional response that you should expect. Mm-hmm. And if you don't see that with somebody, then they're not expressing emotions.
And that is quite dangerous, because then you're just making people, forcing them to be who you want them to be.
Exactly.
And it gets annoying, because I've had that in the past where people are like, you should behave like this. But I'm like, that's not how I want to behave like. So why should I behave like that? This is who I am. I don't find this thing that emotionally damaging to make me get to this level of emotion that you have. Stuff like that. So, I don't find these things as emotionally happiness for me to be as happy as you as. Exactly. Sometimes I'm just a medium guy, innit? I'm just medium in my emotions.
But how about the guys that are going through a certain trauma that can't be identified, that needs their woman or even their mother to comfort them?
But then they need to open their mouth.
But this is the thing, sometimes men find it difficult to open their mouth and tell. Oh, come on, brother.
Sometimes you gotta learn.
Yeah, but
if you cannot,
to me, it's not as black and white as that.
It is. If you're saying if you're talking about strangers, then I can say, you know what, you can be preserved. If you're talking about even your man, then sometimes, they're your man. But when you're talking about the person that did born you, and the person you picked to be your partner, you need to be able to open your mouth. Or why are you with them?
There comes a point.
I don't think it's as straightforward as that, bro.
There comes a point where you have to.
That sounds extremely logical. Sorry, it sounds extremely logical. It sounds like a logical thing to do. But when it comes down to the actual situation and the time that you're going through a madness, it's not as black and white as that, bro.
There does come a time where you have to identify who it is can hear this stuff. And it doesn't have to be.
And it might not be your woman.
It might not be your woman. It might not be your mom.
But you have somebody.
But there's somebody. Sometimes, and this is what I come to acknowledge in life. Sometimes when you're out in the street and you say hello to somebody just by some brief interaction, someone you've never met before, and they start telling you their whole life. From your point of view, socially, we're like, why is this person telling me their whole life? I don't give a damn about them. But that person may have identified that you're the person that they're going to tell all the things they need to get off their chest.
Well, you just feel they have this resonate with you in some way. But going back to that original message though, I think that most men, definitely with the second part, they don't want to have they don't want you to be another argument. Men don't want you to be another argument. Most men I know, me, because I don't want to make it. I don't want to talk for other men.
Well, you're talking for me.
Most men I know, me.
I don't want you to be another argument. I don't want to come home and you be another argument or another thing I have to think about.
You understand? You want your missus to be your peace.
Yeah, peace, or even I don't know how to say this without sounding wrong.
Just say it and let's see if it sounds wrong.
Non-existent, but like I don't want to have to think about you.
Yeah.
I have to go out of my way to think about you. Everything should just be natural.
I hear that.
I don't want to have to think about, can I say this? Oh, can I do this? Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Because I have to then be constantly thinking every 5 minutes to decide
I see what you're saying. I was worried there for a moment, big boy. But
because in the end, it's like, I'm like, I just want to be able to just be Wahala. You're the person I should be able to just be Wahala with, and you should understand Wahala. I shouldn't have to try and constantly be explaining to who you are. I think that's why Stav is so in love with his wife, because if you notice his reactions or people's reactions to him outside of his immediate,
yes,
he's very argumentative. They find him to be thingy, they block him, they do this and another. Whereas his wife just accepts Stav for being Stav. And I think that's what he loves about her the most, that she just accepts him for who he is. She understands him. And I think men just want that. They just want a woman that understands them. Yes, we're gonna do stupidness as well. I'm not gonna pretend like we're not, and yes, that may be a reason why you need to get irate with us at times. I get that, but what we do really want, or should I say, what I want, is just a woman to understand when I'm joking. You know, if you know my intentions is not to hurt you, don't take it as an intention of me trying to hurt you. If you know that I'm just I just want to be quiet, not because I want to dismiss you. It's because I just don't have nothing to say. Then take it as I just have nothing to say. If you offer me something that's feasible for me to talk about, then I'll talk to you about it. But if I don't have to then have to be able to produce the conversation and I have nothing to say, don't take an exception to that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I just want to, chill. Just want to eat jollof rice and be happy, man.
Yeah, I
just want to eat jollof and be happy, bruv. That's all I want to do. Come in, watch 2-2 program, have a joke or two, have a cup of tea.
Have a cup of tea.
Man said jollof and be happy.
And just be happy.
But it's true, innit? I mean, men go through a lot, innit? On a day-to-day basis, and sometimes
people go through a lot, bro.
Yeah, we know people go through things, innit? But we're talking specifically about men here, you know. So I'm not trying to sugarcoat the idea that women, dilute the idea that women are not going through shit as well, because they clearly
all lives
are,
matter. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, for real. But no, men are going through things, man, on a day-to-day basis, whether it's peer pressure,
change your peers. Go on.
Yeah.
If it's peer pressure, change your peers. Go on, keep going.
Yeah, no,
I'm going to
no.
segue this into something.
No, I'm just saying that it could be a number of different things, whether it's peer pressure, issue at work, issue with your family, issue with other aspects of your life, innit? And it could lead to things as far-fetched, and I say that in inverted commas, to suicide, innit? And you could actually, a woman could actually save their men from doing crazy things, innit? Just based on you trying to get them to open up a little bit, trying to get them to speak where normally they don't speak. And when you do approach them with that and they kind of shut the door on them, just be patient with them, innit? And just keep probing.
Yeah, okay, so going off that, I suppose it goes back to the other way when the ladies are asking us to treat them like they treat their mothers. They don't want us to try and kill them either, because we're pushing them to suicide all day, every day, with the cheating.
And that's why I said that
abuse,
I'm not trying to
with
dilute
the argument,
what they're going through, innit?
With the whatnots. But who has issues?
Who's that?
And who thinks that they should have issues and thinks that some boys better know better?
Wiley.
Oh man, I saw that rant and I thought, is it even real, bruv?
It's real. It might be real, but this is the question I ask you, man. So let me explain.
And does he have an album coming out?
He says he's got an album coming out
There
already.
you go.
But let me explain the rant. So Wiley has seen a video with Dizzee Rascal and Skepta. Right? They've got a song together on Dizzee Rascal's EP. There's a new song with Skepta and Dizzee Rascal, which, to be honest, when I heard it, I completely forgot about all of the Boy Better Know links and all that stuff like that. So Skepta is Boy Better Know, as well as Wiley is Boy Better Know, and apparently Big H is Boy Better Know. But anyway, so and then obviously JME, all those guys are all.
So
Boy
they're
Better
all
Know.
like in a big
collective.
Okay.
Boy Better Know. And Dizzee Rascal and Wiley, as we know, I think we've spoken about them in the past in this podcast, have got a massive beef. They do not chat. It's a big thing. Dizzy calling Wiley a paedophile. Wiley's calling Dizzy a pagan and a pussyo and blah, blah, blah. So they've been going on for years. They do not talk to each other.
So it's one person is insulting somebody with abstract ideas, pagan, pussyo, and one person is hitting them with, I wouldn't say factual, but like, let's just say.
But you know what I mean.
You've dibbled.
So basically, he's seen this thing and he's like, nah, I don't like this. Skepta, you're a pagan. How you going with the ops? I'm using them new man word.
I see.
Yeah, them ops there, innit?
It took 10 years off your face there.
Them they're like ops, innit? The ops. How you rolling with the ops? How you rolling with the opposition? How you on the other man's team when you know that me and that guy's got beef? Me and you supposed to be family. Boy Better Know supposed to be family. But you're there with Dizzee Rascal, who you know's got beef with me, who's been dissing me, who's been calling me this, who's been calling me that. Nah, I'm not rolling with you no more. You're a fool. You're a this. You're a that. He went on a rant, which, as far as I'm concerned, if the police find, they might charge him for driving with a phone, because he had the phone there and he was chatting right into the phone, not even looking at his driving at extreme speeds. So
yeah, for real.
He was chatting this, chatting that. So my question to you is: does Wiley actually have a right to be upset?
Oh, yes. Yeah, he does.
He does.
I think he does. Slightly.
I think we've gone through this situation on ESN podcast.
We have. I think we touched on. I'm not even going to mention it, but it is a personal situation with our boy Stavros. I think we touched on that, and the other one kind of slips my memory. But if you're in a crew and you're in a collective, like if it's us, man, for example, yeah, and we're close as we are, we've gone on lads' holidays, on stag do's and whatnot, and we all know each other's parents more or less. You know, that's when you know that, you know, we are boys, innit? And then going on to that, your boys know that you have serious beef with the next man. So 2-2s now.
4.
For real. 2-2s now. You can see that your boy is doing business, making money with the opposition, with someone who you know has disrespected you, basically, innit? And you've got this serious beef. I think he's got a right to feel a way about it. Getting all personal and whatnot, I'm not too sure, but I think he has every right to have a little bit of a rant.
Who is the bovine between? Is it between the public personas of these two people, or is it between the government name of these two people?
I think both. I think both of them, government name or, you know, the artists within themselves, they don't like each other, bruv. I think that Wiley and my man, what's his name again? Dizzee, they have beef, and it's been going on for ages. I'm not really into the whole foolishness myself, but I've known from time that they don't like each other. So if you know that your boy has got beef with this guy, and then you're out there rolling with him, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but he's not rolling with him.
Well, he's done
music with him.
He's rolled with him then.
For me, it all depends on what the beef is.
It's for the bag.
If it's not a beef that I can co-sign, if you're just angry at the person for foolishness, then no, I'm not co-signing it.
And that's what it comes down to.
Yo, well, what is the original beef then?
Oh, with those two?
Yeah.
Oh, those two got a proper beef. So I get that.
So it's proper beef then?
Yo, it's over money. It's over Dizzee getting stabbed and him not backing it.
That's proper beef,
all of this type of stuff. Like they got proper beef. So I get them. They're fine. They can have their beef. But I'm talking about in general, depending on what. If you just got a beef with a man and I'm asking you what's his beef over, and you're telling me it's over some foolishness that happened 2 years ago. like for me, this is me. Stav is a very petty person. I'm using him as an example.
And that's what we were talking about.
Ultra petty.
There's beef that Stav's got with people, and I do not understand why it's a beef to that level where you are not want to talk to the man completely.
Two people that I speak to. I can say that I speak to 2 people that Stav don't like and has beef with,
right?
And I think that his beef is petty.
I don't even know who those 2 people are.
We'll talk about off
I know one person that we was potentially,
and I know that he's gonna ask as well.
I know there's one person that we was potentially going to do business with, and he was like, I'm not dealing with them. And for me, the beef was so. It wasn't even a beef. It was just a comment. And he didn't like them persons when they were commenting or the way that they spoke to them. But I get it. He's like, I don't want those type of people in my life because the way that they may take me to a level that I don't want to go to. Fair enough. But boy, there's certain things where I'm not backing it. If you don't like that person, you don't like them. I can't back every beef that you have. If it's a serious beef, there's times when Stav has no issue with somebody or no issue with something that somebody said to him, and I will just be the one that flies off the handle. In fact, you see me fly off the handle over Stav, and Stav's not even blinking an eyelid, thinking, "Well, I didn't even think there was a problem." So there's times like that.
Ain't got a problem.
There's times like that as well. But there's times when I just think to myself, this is your beef. I can't stop talking to somebody for something that I don't agree with. Exactly the same way we were talking about with our women earlier. I don't agree with that, so I'm not gonna take your side. In the same way with this situation, sometimes I'm like, I don't agree with what you're beefing with, so I'm not gonna take your side. But with this Skepta one now, again, I don't think Skepta and Wiley are close. Skepta and Wiley's had beef before.
Okay,
so I think
that's a different thing then.
Yeah, but I think that it's a case of, I don't know. It's if we was to look at it in a podcast way. So let's say that we was from one podcast. And let's say that we had a beef with another podcast. I don't know. Let's say you had beef with Griff. Big up Griff. None of us have got beef with Griff, by the way. I'm using Griff because Griff is cool and he won't get upset with it because Griff is cool. But let's say that you had beef with Griff. Yeah, you and Griff had an argument one day. He pinched your girl's bum. I don't know, something, right?
Wild.
Yeah. Then we got beef with Griff because Griff did something that we think is very disrespectful. Yeah. Right. But if it was one time that you and Griff was outside and he spotted all the rest of us, and then he just gave you a handshake, and from there you just said, "Nah, he didn't treat me the way he treated the rest of the man." Then blah blah blah. I'll be like, bruv, That's petty.
Well, that's the thing, and that's what I said at the beginning. Like us in this crew, we've gone on holidays and we know each other pretty well, innit? You know, so pretty well. But you see, Skepta and Wiley, if they're not close like that, you know, because I was going to ask you, how big is that Boy Better Know crew?
It's a big crew.
That's what I'm saying. So, I don't know. It's like...
But they've known each other for years, though. It's one of those... It's like that scene is a bit ancestral, innit?
I know enough, man. I know a lot of people, innit? Like, and I could say that I can call someone my associate. That I've known him for 20 years. I can pick up the phone. We can have a chat. We can sit together and talk for ages. But they're not my bona fide brethren. I wouldn't put them in the same circles as you, man, or as other circles that I have.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, bro.
You know those people that's not bona fide. You know sometimes there's girls that's in your circle.
In my circle.
Not necessarily bona fide, but you know them. You're cool with them.
Girls.
Yeah, girls. You know sometimes you're in bed with them.
In bed.
Yeah, it might be a link or something that you're cool with, but she knows the rest of the man them, you know. She knows everybody, but you know, you're sleeping with them.
Do the man them know?
The man them know her as well.
No, but do they know that I've slept with them?
Yeah, they know. But, you know, sometimes you're in bed with them and you've got things on your mind. You know, we talked earlier about men having things on their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Then they start, you know, you may start unloading those things on your mind. And then that person might then go to the opposition and give them all the information.
Yuck.
Damn.
A bit like what 40 did to Drake.
Yuck.
So, just for some background story. So, Pusha T was on the Joe Budden podcast.
King Push.
I'm assuming that most people are going to talk about this for their podcast this week. So I'm not going to stay on this for a long time actually.
King Push.
But Pusha T was on the Joe Budden podcast, and Drake was on the Shop, which is basically LeBron James podcast. And Drake was saying, you know, he was upset with Kanye West because Kanye West is the one that gave Pusha T all this information about him and blah 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 and yada yada yada, and you know I spoke to Kanye West about certain personal things and suddenly Pusha T knew them
like the baby,
stuff like that. But then Pusha T came on the podcast and was like, "Nah, I didn't hear none of this stuff from Kanye West. I heard it from one chick that's sleeping with your best friend."
Oh, see,
who went to go and tell the best friend went to go and tell everything to. And then they went to come and tell me. So when he said, "I'm hiding a child," I didn't hear that from Kanye West. I heard it from your girl's mouth.
Damn.
So how do we feel about pillow talk about the man them? Let's use that as the topic. How do you feel about that?
This thing of ours, this thing of ours.
How do you feel about that? Because in fact, big up Sim, big up Simone, yeah, because she tweeted after this podcast, because I must tweet something about 40 is a snitch to his woman, blah blah blah, as a joke thing.
T Simmer.
And they came and said, "You will never do that to Simple," and I said, "I'll do that to Simple tomorrow." I'll talk to my woman about Simple right now if I have to.
About what?
It depends on what it is. There's certain things that I will not talk to my woman about because that's Simple's personal business.
That's what I'm saying.
But if it's not something that I think is unpersonal, why can't I talk to my woman about Simple?
Yeah, but that is personal. What Drake was talking to
his
boy about.
If Simple was hiding a child,
he is hiding a child.
I don't think I would tell my woman that Simple was hiding a child. But I don't know how I would get around it. I would have to tell Simple. He has to tell my woman, because I don't know how that works with me. Yeah, because his woman and my woman are best friends.
If she was to ask, then perhaps you would not lie to her, right?
I won't lie to my woman.
That's what I'm saying. But she wouldn't
I'll
ask
tell her to
because,
ask,
because she just wouldn't know, innit? she wouldn't know. So I'm assuming that the girl that this guy was sleeping with, it wasn't on her mind to think, does this guy have a child?
But she might have been out there asking questions for the situation. I don't know.
And it's a link. It's not even his woman.
No, I don't know. No, apparently those two. He apparently calls her every day for 4 hours on end. So he must really like this woman. But I'm saying, is it okay? Is it okay for you to have pillow talk with your wifey about your boys? And what level of acceptance is there?
I think that you can talk to your missus about your boys, but I think there is a certain level that you do not cross, bruv.
So how do you deal with that level?
How do you deal with that? You tell your missus, don't ask me questions relating to my boy about certain things, innit? Just leave it alone.
See there?
You get me?
Lay the rules down.
Yeah, there are certain...
Tell them what to do.
One time, you know, there are certain things that you... because you won't lie to your woman, that you would have to tell if they probe you, innit? And you're like, why do you want to know gist? You know, why do you want to know gist, man? It's basic gossip, innit? You know, why are you asking me? Because I've heard women say things to me and I'm like, I don't really want to hear it. You get me? This is gossip. It's nonsense. Keep that to yourself and keep it moving.
I'll gist with my woman about certain things, but I won't gist with her about things that's serious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because in the end, that's the other person's business, isn't it? And in the same way that my woman, see, again, it depends on how you see levels. I see my family and my woman on the same level in certain aspects. So the same respect I'm respecting your privacy, the same respect I respect their privacy. So if you're telling me that if they was gonna ask me a question about you, I shouldn't say the same thing about you. It's the same thing I would expect the other way around. So if you're saying to me, this is between me and you as a couple, personal, I shouldn't tell them about this. Then I would expect you to have that same respect when I'm telling you that this is between me and my friend. They don't want you to know, so I don't want to tell you about this. But then there's also a school of people that say, "Don't tell me if I can't tell my wife."
Yeah, there are. That's staff, isn't it?
That's my parents as well. My mom says it all the time. If you don't want me to tell my husband, don't tell me, because I shouldn't be able to not tell my husband anything. So if you don't want me to be able to have that conversation with my husband, don't tell me.
And that's fair enough. And there are some guys that won't say that, innit? So there are some guys who will lay that thing is don't ask me because it's not really your place.
It could get messy though if certain questions is asked.
That's what I'm saying,
Just know I'm snitching if she ever reads the group chat, yeah.
If I what? If I ever what?
If she ever reads the group chat, I'm snitching.
Well, why would she read the group chat?
I don't know. You never know, man. Some people might get your phone somehow, man. Technology allows it to happen these days.
Just delete the whole. You just see a man just disappear.
Listen, in our group chat,
Wahala has left the group chat.
That's what I'm saying.
The group chat's not even bad. That's what I'm saying.
No, you'll say that, but that group chat is bad.
In what way?
It is bad.
We could make a movie from that.
In the sense that group chat has got a long archive history, bruv.
Boy.
It's bad.
Boy.
So what are you saying, Simple?
What do you mean?
I still think we should print out the group chat. And
about the whole pillow talk and speaking to your missus, your fiance, your wifey, or whatever about things that your boys have gone through.
I don't really talk about it. I don't really talk about things that the man have gone through or whatever. There's been 1 or 2 times where my missus has touched on or wanted to touch on some points or what have you, and I haven't been impolite, but I've been vague enough for her to realize this is not conversation I really want to indulge in. And that for me is because I find it difficult sometimes to gauge what's personal information and what somebody would be all right with and what they won't be all right with. So rather than having to do the whole landmine of figuring out which is which, I would just leave that alone completely.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying to you? Which is bad because sometimes, especially if one of your friends has got a problem and you don't know how to solve the problem, you never know. Your missus might have some insight. You know what I'm saying to you?
You sit there.
You could be like, I once had a friend who had a friend.
Yeah, but then you're lying.
Yeah, I don't want to go all them ways there.
Not really, because you do, because you're still talking about your friend, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know. You have to phrase it in such a way it doesn't seem obvious, and it's long, bruv. It's long.
Yeah, so you leave it alone.
I just leave her alone, man.
Oh. Well, maybe you'd speak to your friend, that you speak to.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, you got that person that you speak to.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, from a woman's perspective, you get a whole different idea.
I do
of things,
all the time. I get a whole different idea of things all the time. Things that I don't consider.
Which is good. You should always have different ideas from yours to hear from. And sometimes you take it into consideration, sometimes you don't. But it is what it is. All right, going into another question because I want to go through as many questions as we can because we're pushed on time for once. Right, so this is something that's personal for us. When I say us, I mean more Simple Simon and Wahala than maybe for Mr. Wolf.
Okay.
Because you're from the south side of London.
One time.
And we're from the east side of London.
And I love South.
So, if you're from the east side of London and you're from a certain place called Hackney, you know about one place especially.
Hackney!
You know about one place especially.
I'm a South Londoner and I think Hackney's a wonderful place.
That's wonderful. I'm glad that you know better than others. But there's a particular market that we call Ridley Road Market. That's what we call it, yes? I had to put on my yard voice there because that's when I think of the market, me think of the yard man then.
And I won't lie to you, the initial one was authentic.
You think of the yard man them.
The yard man them, Jesus.
So, in Ridley Road Market, there's got a little arcade bit where you go inside and you can, shops are there, little shops. You know the little shops where they sell like furniture, little bits of jewelry, little bits and some people call it tat. Some people just say, that's
like
what
bricks and market.
What they can sell. Yeah, a bit like that. So they're closing it down, man.
The whole thing.
They're closing the whole thing down. But not only that, they gave residents like 3 weeks to tell them that they're going to close it down.
So hang on. Oh, so it's the bit inside. So where the Sainsbury's is and them other shops out there. Is that that's the
No. Inside the market, there's a little arcade in the market.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're shutting that bit down.
Yeah. So
not the whole market, just the arcade bit.
Just the arcade bit. So that's been there for years.
Yeah, it's been there for time, bro.
So they're saying they're gonna close it down because they want to close it because of drugs. Apparently, the people are selling drugs out there, but
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie to you. They've been selling drugs in town for years. So why suddenly now it's a problem? Gentrification.
Because it's because the clientele now is like, you know what it is. When they were selling drugs there before, everybody was quiet about it. Now with the new clientele, they're like, oh my god, I got some A-class cocaine from inside the market there. Yes, it's just over there. It's fantastic stuff. So they fucked up the base race.
So they're saying that they're closing it down due to enforcement action from police over drug dealing and antisocial behaviour, kicking out long-standing traders with just 2 weeks' notice.
Okay, do you believe that is the real reason why they're closing it down, though?
No, because when you read Fair on, they're saying they're going to be developing luxury flats on top of said shopping village.
Okay.
So they're basically what they're doing is moving out all of these people to put them somewhere, or I don't know if they can even have somewhere to shop now or to sell their bits and bobs now, so they can build more flats, so they can have more people that don't come from the area living there to gentrify it even further.
And that's how it goes, man.
But then so that's the first step. The next step is to actually have the market removed, isn't it? That would be the next step.
The market will soon be gone, or it'll be one of them market where you can only get fucking vegan food. That's what they're gonna do.
Vegan food and artisanal bread or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is, man.
Bread, yeah,
bread that you can't put any stew in or nothing. But I don't know. To me, I find it quite upsetting because I've known all my life that market. I've known Ridley Road Market all my life. I remember my mum used to make me push the whole shopping trolley down it from the beginning to the end.
I think if you've lived on the end, and I'm saying if you lived in Hackney, there's a high probability that you've not only been to that market, but like Wahala said, you've had to push a trolley through there. You've had to carry shopping through there.
It's a sign of the times, isn't it?
It's a massive part of our history as residents of El Hackney. And I know people that have travelled all the way from Tottenham that go, travelled all the way from Tottenham that go down into Ridley Road Market. It's one of those. It's an
iconic market.
It's an iconic market.
And I think they even shot a little bit of Top Boy in that particular part of the market as well.
Wow.
So for me, it's really sad to see things come and go. I get it. You know, there may be drug dealings going on there. I'm not even going to pretend like there isn't.
Well, why don't they sort that out and stop using that as an excuse?
But what I don't understand is right next to that particular part, there's a new bar that they've created.
Bistro bar. Yeah?
Is the bar not unsociable? Are they going to get rid of that?
Of course not.
Are the drugs not being sold in there too?
Yeah. Well, I would ask you, man. Then, if you could, if you was a sex worker,
what? Where'd that come from?
Hang on, wait, what?
If you was a sex worker and the woman wanted to call you a N-word within a sex for you to get your £1 million, would you take that to save the Ridley market?
Why are you going back to last week?
It was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago.
I'm just asking you, innit?
No. I said no last week. I was no a week before last. I'm saying no now.
Fine, no problem. But if you had the resources to save it, like the money, that you was a Richard Branson in the area or whatever, would you put the money back into the community like that and try and save it?
I would say probably. This is going to sound bad, but I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm going to say no is not because of not believing in that institution, but it's because if I pump money in there to maintain it, it's being maintained for a gentrified area. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
So then you can't have an issue with them changing something that seems quite natural then?
No, I'm not. The issue that I have is how they're trying to change it. They're trying to make out like there's a massive problem there, and that's the reason why they need to change it. Okay. When in actual fact, they just want to knock the thing down and build flats there. If they want to do that, they want to knock the thing and build flats there. They can do that, but do it in a way where the traders who have traded there, who are trading there, either have the means by which to continue their trade somewhere else, i.e., give them an alternative, or you pay them out in such a way that it's not going to take away their livelihood. It won't make them millionaires necessarily, but it also will not be a massive burden on them. What they've done now is they've just evicted them. Yeah. And although
Surely there's going to be another place that they're going to find for them.
It'll be
that doesn't sound like there's any mitigation for them.
I haven't read up enough to find it, but I doubt they're going to go around trying to find something.
They're not going to try and find something. It's just you lot get out and that's it. They've done the same thing with Tottenham as well, where when they're rebuilding the area for the stadium and the rest of it. A lot of the people that own businesses or houses around there were given bottom of the shelf offers, and then when they refused those offers, rightfully, they were then told, "Oh well, that's as good as you can get," and then they were forced off of the
right to buy order or the right to the forced to sell order.
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
So just to add context, they did know they was going by the end of the year. By the way, so this has already been decided they were going to go by the end of the year, but they cut it short.
They've cut it short, and then a lot of these traders as well. Christmas time is a massive time for them.
So
why don't you do it in January? Like that.
Yeah, that is a liberty.
Apparently, again, just to add more context, one of the reasons why they're closing it early is because they did a raid and they found drugs, cash, and knives found in one of the units.
So one
unit and everybody. That's how it goes.
That's what they need, man. They only need one person to they probably put it in themselves.
Like that.
They probably put it in there themselves. But yeah, man, I might save it, but I don't know if the money has to be disposable money. It can't just be money I just got.
It's like Richard Branson putting money in the Notting Hill Carnival, innit? He done his bit for the community.
No, he did advertising.
Yeah, I mean, he at the end of the day, he saved the carnival, bruv. You can't deny that. It was his money, mate. They were looking to close the thing, bruv.
Peter.
So, no, the question I have to ask now is, with this going on, is this a sign that it's time for ethnic minorities to leave?
No.
To leave London?
It's a sign for ethnic minorities to come together and build. There's a picture that is going around social media. It is a little bit old, but it's got everybody in it, from Puff Daddy to Jay-Z.
We're going to talk about Puffy in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. to all these big, major, highly successful and rich musicians and entertainers. And then under the the slogan that they put, look at all these fantastic black men, fantastic rich men, and not one school between them. You get me?
No, I'm sorry.
They don't know, man. They chat shit.
Well,
there's that.
I don't know.
There's that they don't know. But there's also...
Boy, better know.
You're talking about a T-shirt here. So let's say there's 30 black people, successful big black people that are on that list. Yeah? And we are now, as millions and millions of black people, looking at those 30 people and saying they ain't got a school between them. There's millions and millions of us black people.
I know.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So... if we're looking to say, oh yeah, you're a billionaire, you're in X amount of hundreds of millions, you can come together and do this. If all of us gave £1, if all of us gave a £5,
I agree with that, but at the same on the same breath, I'm gonna say I'm not sure that I can co-sign. I do believe if the masses come together, we can build something. But at the same on the same front, I think that if you have some real major players, and some people say that, listen, they may be doing something, they don't need to display that they're doing something. I think that you should. I think that our community needs to see our leaders, needs to see our successful people giving back to their own.
Okay,
to me, it kind of encourages.
It
encourages the regular man to help.
The question I ask you is this,
man.
yeah? Those people that you've named, yeah, do they own companies?
Of course,
yes. Do you know how many black people they employ in those companies?
Now, I'm not saying that they ain't got companies and they're not employing,
but that's giving back.
And black folks.
That's giving back. As much as people like to pretend
and
like
I'm
it's not,
saying
that is giving back. You can give me a school if you want, but at the end of the school, if I can't find somewhere to get employed to, then what's the point of me going to school? Or maybe, or give me the opportunity to invest in my business that I can't. I've got an idea, but I need somebody to invest in it. And those guys invest in people's businesses all the time. Everything has to be school.
I'm not saying that
school.
I'm not saying that the thing is factual, innit?
Was Oprah on that list?
But I'm just saying. No, she wasn't in the. Nah, it wasn't a list. It was a picture.
So Oprah wasn't on the picture.
Wasn't in there.
Was it just men?
It was just men. Yeah.
I thought so. Even though Oprah's got schools though, but I'm sure that not all the rich black women that's there, not all of them have got schools. But it's men that like to always tell about schools. I'm backing the men for.
But
who drew the picture? Was it Sunflower?
It was an actual photograph. But I do believe that we should, and I co-sign what Wahala is saying, that they, like Jay-Z, for example, employs a lot of black folks. You understand? So, but I do think when it comes to giving, yeah, it's all them, man. But when it comes to giving back to deprived communities, I think that it is very important that these people display what they are doing.
I know,
in my opinion,
Jay-Z has, and in Nigeria as well, has created water wells and stuff like that to give them clean water in certain communities, in certain areas and stuff like that. People do things that we don't know about.
Yeah,
so
I'm not saying
again,
but what I'm saying is that I think it's important that they display what they're doing.
I always say that the thing that people
because the rhetoric to the
but sometimes explaining what you're doing and showing what you're doing doesn't allow you to then continue, because people then try and put a stop to it. So let's use the Black Lives Matter movement, for example. So at the Black Lives Matter movement, people were like, why is Beyonce and Jay-Z saying nothing? Why? This is before Beyonce went crazy and Jay-Z went mad with all their chat. Why are they doing nothing? Not knowing that they was the ones that was bailing out all of the people that was getting put into prison. So everybody that was getting put into prison at the time in certain states for doing the protesting for Black Lives Matters, the person that was bailing them out was Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Oh, see, these are great things to hear about.
But you don't know those things, because sometimes people don't need to open their
Sometimes
mind,
you need to
bro.
move. Sometimes
Sometimes
you need
they
to
open
move in
your
silence.
wallet.
We
You don't have
spoke
to open
about
your
that
mouth,
again
man.
in a previous podcast. Listen to our previous podcast. We spoke
That's
about
why I don't know why
charity.
we're getting
innit?
back there.
No, we spoke about charity, innit? And you know, whether you would make it known that you're giving back. And I think it's important that you do. Because I think that the world believes that the black people do not do nothing for each other.
One person that might need to give something back might be one of the people you just spoke about, which is Puffy.
Give back to who?
Give back Cassie's 10 years. Alright, so we're based. That's what you know. We're blatantly chatting timeline chat today. There's a lot of timeline chat today. So Puffy, as we know him, because we are from the old school, we know him as Puffy.
P Diddy.
P Diddy was after Puffy. We know him as take that Puffy. Take that. You lot know him as Diddy, right? Or Mr. Combs, as you want to call him,
or Love.
Oh yeah, when you try that nonsense. So he was dealing with Cassie for 10 years.
She was 21.
I don't know how old
he
she
was
was.
37 at the time.
Well, I don't care how old she was. She was 10 years straight. He's been with this woman, and then apparently now they have now decided that they wanted to break up.
To me, that makes a big difference, though. So you may not care about the age gap, but when you're that old, when you're a 37-year-old man, and then you're now picking up some young girl that doesn't really know much in the industry, is what I'm saying. So she's new in the industry. She's got this new song. She's a sweet-looking ting, and then you just scoop her up one time and put her under your wing, innit? You know, I don't know, man. Has he taken 10 years from her life? Maybe she wasn't ready for children during that 10 years. Maybe she said that she wants children now and he's saying, nah, allow it. Or maybe he's just a dirty dog.
Okay, but why is he the one that has to be to blame? Why? Because he's got a new woman and she has not shown to have a new man. Everybody's deciding that he's the reason as to why they've broken up. Why couldn't it be Cassie that's gone through the change? Because as man them,
yes,
there's a time that we say as man them. I know Simple knows the time that I'm talking about. I don't know if Mr. Wolf's ever had that discussion about the time. There's a time that I know that women, they have a certain situation where they get to a time in their life. Not all women, please don't come for me. I don't want the timeline coming from my house. All right? But there's times when women go through a situation where they look at themselves and they decide, I should have been here in my life and I'm not here. And the reason why is you the man has not allowed me to get to where I was meant to be going.
Okay.
You said that we was meant to be married. I was meant to be married by this time. You have not proposed.
Okay.
I was meant to have children, but you have just not allowed me to have my children. Or in their brain themselves think about themselves and said, you know what, I have not done what I wanted to do maybe in my work life or my career, because I think you've held me back because I've been with you and that's been holding me back. Or even just a case of, I'm 25 and I've only been with you for most of my years. I need to experience something else, so I'm gonna go and find somebody else.
You need 25. A different dick.
Yeah.
25
or 20, whatever. 25
no,
is the age. That's the age for me. 25.
That's the age. 25 is the age.
And she's got to 31, and she's for 10 years she's been with the one Puffy. Puffy's every minute on the TV. Take that. She might be able to say, I don't want to take it anymore. All right, so maybe it's her that said that she don't want Puffy no more. She don't need Puffy.
Wait. So
maybe
who's the one? Is Cassie the one that's been doing all these fitness videos and running up and I'm forgetting them mixed up now, isn't it?
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't think she's done anything, bruv. Literally, she ain't done a thing. She had.
I don't remember last time she released the album.
She had a big track that made her.
Who's
a lot
the
of
other
money.
one that can dance a lot? And
you're talking about Sierra.
Sierra.
Mixing up the light skin.
Yeah,
girls,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
Nah, Cassie's Hispanic, innit? But I mean, she may look at Puffy and think, listen, you are one of the biggest, most influential entertainers and music men out there
of an era.
Even up to now, I would say that he could still have that influence in it. And I am a nobody in the industry. I'm just Puffy's girl, innit? You know what I mean? So maybe she's wanted to do things and he just hasn't backed it. And she's felt, you know what? I'm out.
Boy,
I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship.
I'm just speculating.
More to the question of, is it wasted time? I don't know if a relationship is ever a wasted time.
Yeah, because a lot of people like, you wasted this, she's wasted this. I mean, he's wasted her time and blah blah. I'm thinking, 10 years. If you've learned nothing in 10 years,
then maybe you've wasted time.
But she must have got contacts.
Yep.
She must have had some industry influences.
Speak it.
She must have found out how she loves a man for 10 years. If she thinks she might have now know what type of man she don't want after those 10 years.
Jesus!
She 10 years is never a waste.
I'm telling you.
Nah, she would have learned something. There's no doubt about that. But I still think, as you know, when you're that young, you look at the age gap, and to me, it does make a little bit of a difference. Could he have spent those 10 years with a woman that was close to his age, that was more knowledgeable about life?
Potentially. I think the only woman that I can really say can be pissed at this Puffy is that Kim Porter woman that he's got the twins with or bare children with. If he's got 7 kids, I think 3 of them are hers. Because she's been with him for I don't know how long, and they keep getting back, going away, getting back, going away, getting back, going away. But yeah, so that's the only one I could say could really have a problem with Puffy. But he's stayed with this one for a good 10 years straight. So there must be something about this girl that he likes.
Has he had no kids in 10 years?
I think so.
Well, so he's cheated then.
No, I think he hasn't had any kids with anyone else. But he's not. There is no known cheating
I'm sure
between
he's
Cassie.
had a kid within a 10-year period.
I don't think he has. They were quite old now, his children.
What's interesting is when he got with her, she was 21. They spent 10 years together. She's now 32, and he was 37 when he got with her. So she's still not as old as him when they got together. Mad.
That is mad.
Yeah,
that's mad.
So I don't know, man. But a lot of people were like, she's been wasted, and I just thought to myself, for one, who are you to tell her what she's wasted and what she hasn't been wasted? She might be quite happy with the fact that she's had these 10 years. I don't think it's for us to decide whether or not she's wasted that life.
Yeah, I'm against that prognosis that it's wasted. I think you'd have to do a lot of assessment and analysis to identify whether or not time has been wasted in that sense.
So it's just pure speculation on his part, man. I think I heard Wendy Williams talking about it, and from when I hear her input, I'm like, you know what, I'm out, mate.
I don't have time for Wendy Williams.
That's what I'm saying.
Boy.
I like top heavy. I mean Wendy Williams.
Top heavy. Is that what we're calling her these days?
Have you not seen her? Have you seen a full photo of her from head to toe?
She looks odd, man.
She's top heavy, mate.
No time for her.
She's a very, very strange woman. But yeah, have you ever gone through a relationship and come out of it and thought to yourself, you know what, I just wasted my time? Have you ever? No, in fact, the better question is, have you ever dealt with somebody and felt like you've wasted that woman's time?
That I've wasted the woman's time.
You've wasted her time. You've taken away her good years, and you've wasted her time.
I would say no. I haven't had a relationship where that's happened. There's been, when I say relationship, I mean like a monogamous together for more than X amount of time, and I've gone, oh man, I've wasted her life or whatever. There has been links that I've been with, and I'm like, at the end of it, I'm like, I wouldn't say that I've wasted a person's time, but I would say that person has wasted time. The reason why I said I haven't wasted their time is because I'm very big on being quite open with what it is I do and do not want.
Okay.
So at the point of, or just before we would have started linking, I would have made it clear that this isn't going to progress into a relationship because I don't want to have a relationship at this particular moment in time.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that as a way to cover my back. I'm saying it because that is what it is.
Okay.
So if me and you is messing around this time next year, don't think that that's some type of progress into us getting into something serious.
Okay.
So I've been quite clear with that. So from that point of view, I would, in the situation, look at it and say, well, knowing everything that you know, I would say that you've probably wasted your time, or you could, if you came to me with the argument that you've wasted your time,
yeah,
I could agree with you, but not because I've wasted your time, but because you've wasted your time. Does that make sense?
So time has been wasted, but it's her fault.
This time has been wasted, but it's on you. You decided to waste that time.
Okay. All right. So it's her fault.
Yeah, basically.
What about you?
Yeah.
No
I
comment.
think Mr. was wasted some time in his life.
Wasted time.
There was this one time, yeah.
No. I think there's no,
No, Consuela.
no. I wouldn't say so.
So you don't think there's any woman out there that
They
could
would-
say to you, "You wasted my time"?
I think one in particular would.
No, it's the
Look
only
at
two
me.
people. No, it's the only two people are laughing. Yeah, I'm not laughing.
I'm laughing because of the way you said it.
It's one. You know what I'm saying? One in particular definitely would, but I wouldn't say so. You know, in the grand scheme of things, some special moments and some wonderful kids as well. So
Okay. Going on this topic though, there was a discussion I was having with somebody this week actually, and they were talking about basically they had a child and they got divorced from the woman that they had a child with, and they were basically saying that in their community, that woman is basically not worthless, but it's unlikely that she's going to be picked up again because of it, because she's a divorced single mother.
okay.
Yeah, some cultures have that, and they have that, and it's weird. It's a weird thing to have.
So how do you feel? How do you? I don't see. This is what I'm saying. I don't know how I would have how that. I don't know if the person is. For me as a man, I don't know if I could do that to a woman.
Do what?
If I know that if I leave, you're just not going to be able to have
Why
anything.
would you? Yeah, but why would you stay in a toxic relationship?
I don't know. That's another thing. I don't want to stay in a relationship
but you
either,
wouldn't.
but I don't.
But you wouldn't stay in it, bro.
I know I want to stay, but it's like I wouldn't want. I don't know what I would want to do. I want to do something because I can't see myself hating that person enough to know that if I leave you, you're going to just be. No one's going to pick you up. You're just going to be an outcast.
And why would they be that?
Because that's
the
the
culture.
That's the culture of that community.
Of what community are we talking about?
No, a community. Let's be abstract with it. It doesn't matter which community it is. This community has this as their culture, and there are real communities that have that. But let's not get into pointing them out. Let's just take it for what it is.
I don't know. I mean,
And it's very known that person will be an outcast.
okay, well, I think that's just kind of the way how it goes then, because I think that you would be doing more of a disservice by staying in a toxic relationship, especially when their kids are involved, than actually staying there. I mean, on the flip side of that, you could say that in the old school terms, our parents stayed in relationship. I'm not talking about my parents particularly, but they stayed in relationships that were not great. You know what I mean? Because it was the right thing to do, and maybe in their communities, if they had a divorce, then they would have been looked at in a certain way.
But look at the pressure
You know what I
that
mean?
puts on a woman.
This is what I was about to say.
That she can't leave. Like you could be beating the shit out of her, but she can't feel like she can leave because if she leaves, she's got no one.
Now, this is what I was about to say.
So you stay in a relationship that you're being beaten.
I'm not saying that you should stay, but you just. We're having a conversation.
Yeah,
It's not even
I
a
know,
case
I
of a right or wrong type thing. It's just like put yourself in that position that I'm in a relationship. The person I'm with is treating me really badly. You know, I want to leave, but if I leave, then I'm gonna be an outcast, and no one's gonna want me. And that's just the way it is. Or no one within my community is gonna want me. And if I go out with somebody maybe outside of my community, then they're gonna even hate me even more because I've gone outside my community. So then what do I do?
Well, this is why I was saying that culture to me is, I want to say weird, but weird is the wrong word. It's obvious what that culture is about. That culture's about maintaining male power within relationship context, and just by virtue of that idea of that culture, it also encourages infidelity. You understand what I'm saying to you? On the male part, it encourages infidelity in the male part, in the sense that there isn't anything that he can do that will have him outcast the way the woman would for just sticking up for her rights. You understand what I'm saying to you? So he can get away with that. So for me, it's just completely angled and geared towards optimizing the male experience within a relationship context. For me, it's trash.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's mad, isn't it?
And that's why I would always encourage the woman, even it could be a man as well, no matter how bad it may seem, how bad things look if you were to walk away. I think that you'll be doing a disservice to yourself if you stay in a relationship that is toxic, abusive, Don't worry too much about what the community is saying about you. You need to focus on your own happiness, man.
You say that.
It's easy to say.
It is easier said than done, but when you break it down and you are putting bullet points on the situations that they're going through in the home, they could be getting raped. They could be getting physically abused. They could be getting emotionally abused. And based on the community, if you leave, then you're an outcast. And if you decide to walk away, then you're looked at a certain way. Do you know what? Personally, if they came to me for counsel, I know what I would tell them to do.
It's a bit mad. It's a bit crazy.
Mad.
You know.
Mad. MAAUD.
Sweet one.
Anyone got anything else to segue into?
Hey, no, run the thing, man.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna go back because I didn't get into my week.
Oh shit, go
so
on.
I'm gonna go back to my week, yeah, and a couple of things that happened in my week, fam. It's not necessarily big things, but
did you eat suya?
I didn't this week.
Did you go to the shop?
What shop?
With the shop in your way, innit?
What shop?
There's where you get your suya and your meat and all them things.
No. If I just told you to eat suya, I said no.
So no, but do you only buy suya from there?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And jollof at times, but no, that's got nothing to do. That's not my week. So my week this week. Basically, I've got I got one of those ring doorbells.
yeah.
I got one of them ring doorbells, and in the ring doorbell, somebody rings your phone, and
rings the bell.
He rings the bell, and basically, it rings your phone, and then you can video chat to the people that's there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the other day, I was in a meeting or something. I came out the meeting, and I could see that my phone was ringing. So I answered it. So I thought my missus was not in, but she was in. I can catch her now, but she was in anyway. Yeah, so she opened the door. She was in my dressing gown to the people that was the delivery men. There was 2 Nigerian African uncles that was there doing delivery. Yeah, so
I can see where this is going.
So they did the delivery, and then they closed the door and whatnot. So then I must have mentioned her. I said, you're in the house, is it? Yeah, you didn't tell me you was at home for this time. Blah blah blah. I was joking around. And I goes, anyway, that delivery for you or was it for me? Because I think we was both expecting something. And she goes, it was for me. And she goes to me, do you know what the delivery man said to me? I go, what? She goes, oh, I can see that you was in your dressing gown. You know, we know that Wahala is not here. He said my actual name.
Wow.
Right?
Wahala.
My actual name.
Oh, what, your government name?
My government name.
Okay.
We know that, and just so you know, the package was not for me.
Okay.
Exactly. He goes, we know Wahala's not here. You know, you don't need to wear the dressing gown.
Hey! What?
He's son of a bastard.
What? So
Basically,
he tried to move to your woman.
Tried to move to my woman, but the thing that's even more disrespectful is that the man
he knows
collected my name from some other database from somewhere to come and tell my woman that I'm not there. How does he know I'm not there? Luckily, I didn't hear all of this, because if it was, I would have spoke through the speakerphone and said, I'm here, bastard.
Yeah, that you can hear.
But I didn't hear what they were saying, so I just left it as normal. But can you imagine somebody coming into your yard trying to chat your girl right there in front of it, like, and trying to tell you that? And then she said to me, because she wanted to gas that day, I think she wanted to be gassed. So she goes to me, oh yeah, this is not the first time. The other day when the Uber driver dropped me home, he goes, anytime you want me to come around to your garden and cut your grass, just let man know.
Man said he's going to come round to trim the lawn. You can't ask to trim a woman's lawn.
You can't ask to trim a next man's lawn. Forget her lawn.
Yeah, but does he know that the Uber driver wouldn't have known that she was with
Bruv,
someone?
I live in a house. She's there on her own.
She could be.
No, she's not there on her own.
She could be.
She's not there on her own.
She's
not there on her own.
I'm allowing the Uber driver.
No. You don't tell a man that he's cutting the next woman's man's lawn. No, you don't say that.
Why? What?
No.
He's trying to take
No,
it.
she's got an engagement ring, a big fat ring, you know,
maybe
with a
see
nice
it,
rock
innit?
on it. No, you see it. It glimmers. It glimmers.
Bruv, men are opportunists, innit?
Bruv, he said
any opportunity a man can get in it, even when a woman
I'm
is
not co-signing
with someone. I'm not co-signing it, but I'm just saying that men will use any opportunity to try a thing, because there is the off chance that
I'm co-signing
a woman,
You're co-signing it. Spirit of competition.
There is the off chance that a woman will accept the delivery from the postman and ask him to come in for a cup of tea. And I've heard the stories, mate.
well, this postman needs to, when I see because I've got him on video. That he doesn't know.
Man
Did you
said,
screenshot it?
got him.
I've got him on video.
Oh my days.
Next time I'm gonna open it in my own dressing gown. It's a beef thing.
Oh my days.
I wonder if he will deliver there again.
Of course he will deliver there. He must have delivered there before, because he knows my name.
You know.
Okay, so next time that something comes and
think
it's a Nigerian or a big black guy.
For
then
me,
you
the
can look
most
in funny.
concerning thing about this is that he knew you weren't in, and I don't understand how he knew you weren't in.
That's exactly.
That's the bit that's most concerning for me, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
Well,
And why did he know my name? GPRD and all that.
No, knowing your name as a delivery man, he might have delivered to you before.
Or GDPR, I should say.
Yeah, he might have delivered to you before. So I'm not.
Yeah, but the database records is not for them to be open for them. Let's say that.
It's on the front of the letter.
No, it wasn't my letter. That's what I'm trying to say to you. It didn't have my name
What
on
I'm saying to you is, if he's delivered to your house before,
Yeah.
and obviously you knows the house.
It's not a post office man. It's a delivery man.
Yeah, but he could have delivered there before. He could have delivered your thing there before.
I don't.
And he remembers his name though. That's
Yeah,
mad.
it can happen. Can happen.
Damn.
Disrespect out of there. I don't know what to do. I was thinking, you know what? I don't know how to take this type of disrespect.
Well, you can't do nothing
I'm
until
not
you
gonna lie
come
to you.
back.
When she did tell me as an uncle, I did laugh though, because I know uncles are opportunists and they'll do it.
Yeah, but then also, did you feel a sense of pride that somebody actually wants to chat up your woman?
No. I won't get shut up all the time. That's nothing special for me.
I'm just saying, isn't it?
I don't feel that type of. I expect it, so it's not a case that I don't expect it.
So
man said he
were they
expects
uncles
it,
or
They were uncles,
So-
young uncles. Have you seen that?
Hang on, what's a young uncle? There's no such thing.
Yeah, there is. Have you seen that 40-day fiance thing
40-day fiance.
with the guy Michael? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
The guy Michael that's trying to get a visa and he's married this
American woman.
the American white woman.
what the Nigerian guy?
Yeah, and
I've
you want to
seen
call her
clips.
fat. Like, he's a young uncle. That's why I call the type of person that call a young uncle.
Well, he don't look like he's past 30.
He's a 30 something, but if you see him, he looks like an uncle.
Okay.
His mannerisms is uncle like. His stomach is uncle like.
For
So
me,
are you telling me that they were under 40 years old?
I don't know how I'll do it.
I don't think there's a
I'm coming for
classification.
them though still.
You coming for them, yeah?
Yeah. Well, why you can't just come to man's yard and tell him that you gotta come and do something? For me as well, as a safety thing, innit? As a woman should be allowed to come out of her house, collect her stuff. She's not Miss Parker, you know, from Friday. She
Miss
came
Parker?
out. She came to collect her
Miss
stuff
Parker.
respectfully, and you're there telling her that she don't have to put on her dressing gown. I thought to get them fired, but I don't know. If they weren't Nigerian, I would have got them fired. If they were uncles, I would have called up DDP and said, look, I don't know what type of man you lot is hiring and blah blah blah.
But don't chat out my woman.
But because as far as I'm concerned, these are the things that women find as it's called sexual. What's it called?
Assault, innit?
Not assault, but sexual harassment.
Harassment, okay.
Because he said to her, "You don't need to come out with your dressing gown." That can be seen as a sexual comment out on a workplace. You're not supposed to do that.
On the subject of deliveries, though, yeah.
Yes.
If you get a delivery from, I don't know, Amazon, and no one's in, let's say you didn't have the Ring doorbell, and they leave the whatever it is on the front doorstep,
That's happened.
and you come back and you see it there.
Mm.
Do you thank the Lord that your stuff is still there, or do you go back and make a complaint about it?
I just collect it.
You just collect it. Okay, cool.
I'm not. If it's there, it's there, innit? If it wasn't there, then I'll complain. But it's there.
Yeah, because people at work saying, yeah, in those situations, they go back to the delivery company and say that the thing wasn't delivered.
Yeah, and then they get a free one. Yeah, enough man do that. I don't do them types of things because I don't need a free one. Obviously, most of the things that are getting delivered are not something I need something free for.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it, but I know Mr. Wolf would do it. Just say yes and be on with it.
Yes.
Because I know you would be doing it.
Speaking of madness, though,
Go on.
some strange shit has been going on. I got into the car the other day,
Mm.
my missus' car, and the radio was on, and she was quite happy for the radio to be on, and Tim Westwood was on the radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
What station? Capital Extra.
I have no idea.
I think it's on Capital Extra.
Yeah, I think so. The old man.
Yeah, so things are going mad. Like, he's back on radio like he was when we were back in college and union.
I don't think he's ever been off radio.
Is it?
He just changed stations.
He sounds like them old times. Like, he's still got the same energy that he had as them old times. But anyway, so
Tim Westwood.
he's on Capital Extra now, and someone just left there the other day, innit? What's his name?
I don't even know the details.
The younger version of...
That's not Capital. He left Radio 1. Are you talking about Charlie Sloth?
Yes, that's it.
Charlie Sloth has left.
Charlie Sloth has left Radio. What? There's a story behind that. Are you segueing it?
No, yeah, go.
So there's a story behind that. So Charlie Sloth has announced that he will be coming off Radio 1 and 1 Extra
Yeah.
in the next coming weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people think he's going to Apple Music, but he has not been announced yet that he's going to Apple Music.
I have announced.
But everybody believes he's going to Apple Music. But he was meant to do, I think, another 2 months. You know, he'd give you a notice in.
Yeah.
He's going to work out his notice, innit? Until they get somebody else to replace him.
Yeah.
Then there was an award show the other day for a radio award show. And he went on the stage and tried to do a Kanye thing when somebody else won an award. So
you shouldn't have won this. This person should have won it.
No, basically he jumped on and went,
I'm going to let you finish.
He jumped on and said, I think her name's Edith Bowman.
Okay.
He said, Edith Bowman, fuck your life.
Wow.
Radio 1 and 1 Extra, fuck your life.
Did you know what he said?
Thank you and goodbye. And walked off the stage.
Wow.
So who's Edith Bowman?
I think she's another presenter that has like a podcast and she won the award. So he came to do that when she won the award, basically.
What the hell?
So then BBC then decided to just put a nice tweet saying, unfortunately, Charlie Sloth would no longer be doing the radio show for 1 Extra and Radio 1. We've decided that he will be departing early. So and Charlie Sloth has already apologized, saying, you know, he didn't mean it. He was just doing a Kanye-like moment. He thought it was funny. He was banter.
So they actually kicked him out.
So now he has now left Radio 1 early.
So do you think this was strategic?
Potentially. So if you can get on this deal a bit quicker.
Yeah.
I never really thought of it like that, you know. He could have potentially to get his deal a bit quicker. You know how mans do that at normal day jobs. They just stop working so people can give them gardening leave so they can go.
And because he also apologized to Edith Bowman as well.
Yeah, he said that she loves him. My mum loves you. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It might not even be Edith Bowman. I might have just picked any random white woman because it easily happened. But you carry on talking and I'll find out who the actual woman is.
Yeah, so he's actually apologized to her. He put out some, I don't know. I want to call it a public address, but it's not. It's just a tweet. So or something on Instagram. He put it out there saying that he apologizes to the commentary regarding. We're gonna call her Edith for now, and that he loves her. His mum loves her, and he didn't want to come across as disrespectful. He come off the wrong way or whatever. But it is hitting social media as a bizarre activity, something that is out of the ordinary, which is a bit weird because if anyone knows Charlie Sloth, there isn't anything ordinary about him. He is an elevated character, well, at least when he's in the public forum. So this doesn't really seem that crazy in retrospect. But
it kind of is because whether or not,
he doesn't normally say fuck people. That's true. That is true.
And you wouldn't expect him to just jump on the stage and just start cussing off people.
And he danced off as well. It was a bit weird, bro. It was just the whole thing was a bit weird. But to me, I feel like it may have been strategic. Try and get himself.
Yeah, it was Edith Bowman, so I didn't just pick a random white.
Yeah.
It was Edith Bowman. So
Whoever that is.
I think it was strategic.
You think so? So you think that he did it to try and
I think he got booted out, man.
Nah, I think it was strategic.
What he would have done, he would have had a few drinks, man, and said something stupid and never really thought about the consequences. You know, we spoke about people and consequences and repercussions, and people don't learn about fucking up and, you know, taking a rap for it, man. I think that he done it with the intention to be funny, and he got booted out.
Potentially.
You feel me?
Okay, let's do one last topic because Steph put it there. Even though I think we might, in fact, I'm gonna leave it because Steph seems like he was quite angry about this particular topic, so maybe he wants to talk about it.
What's it?
Okay.
This is about Sajid Javid.
Oh, Sajid Javid, the MP or whatever his name.
So basically, we're starting now, so we're talking. So basically, he basically
Javid. That's it. Sajid Javid.
He basically there was a paedophile ring that was going around with a lot of Asians that was in the paedophile ring somewhere up north, and
That's not. Anyway, go on.
So then they basically got arrested and they've been put into prison.
Yeah.
So then he's come out and said in a tweet, "These sick Asian paedophiles are finally facing justice. I want to commend the bravery of the victims. For too long they were ignored. Not on my watch. This will be a no-go area."
Okay.
This will be a no-go. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused. But anyway, yeah. So that's what he wrote. So Stav said basically, is there an Asian word for coon? And if so, is this guy one of them? Because he's meant to go and particularly put the Asian bit there.
Okay, so
Are we talking about this then?
Yeah, because he could have just put these sick paedophiles. He's putting especially these sick Asian paedophiles.
Okay, I'm
are
torn.
finally facing justice.
I'm torn, right? I see entirely where Stav is coming from.
Yeah.
With the whole idea of this, an Asian version of coonery. No, you cannot borrow the word. But at the same time, I feel like one of the things that we're always upset about with the press and the media is when it's a white person, their ethnicity isn't mentioned.
Yeah.
When it's somebody else, it is.
Yeah.
So Stav is probably saying, why mention the ethnicity in this case? Whereas I'm on the side of mention the ethnicity so that you can see that we're consistent. So when it's us, we mention that it's Asian. And if it's a white person, I'm going to mention that it's a white person.
But at that, he would have. And are we sure there's no other race in that mix of people that got arrested?
I know that the ones up north, I'm not saying that it's definitely all Asian, but it's so majority Asian that it's like...
It was a majority
Yes,
Asian.
it
It was
is.
definitely a majority
100%.
Asian that did it.
Yeah, it's so majority Asian that you're just like, okay, you know what I mean, kind of thing. Like we would have to start asking the questions that white people normally ask when some aberrant black behavior happens and they start talking about culture and history and all the rest
But
of it. We would have to ask the same thing about the Asians in this respect.
Yeah, but the problem I have with this is, luckily, he didn't put Muslims, because that would have made it even worse.
He didn't put Muslims on purpose.
He put Asians,
Yeah.
yeah. But again, it puts a stigma on the Asians. They're the ones that's coming to our society and they're coming to rape our white girls and blah, blah, blah,
Of
blah,
course it
blah.
does. Of course
But
it
there's
does.
plenty of paedophile rings that we've seen, for one, in the MPs, in MPs themselves.
One time.
Yeah.
Right? For white males that's doing paedophilia.
In
and
the
they're not
Vatican,
yeah,
the Roman Catholic
and I don't see
churches.
people tweeting, it's finally sick, any MPs saying finally these sick white men are stopping their paedophilia.
No,
that's not MPs that's going around saying that.
I'm with
so
you.
he's you putting that stigma onto that particular ethnicity, knowing that there's already a stigma attached to them in and attached to immigrants doing that particular type
Activity.
of thing. Like that's something that they love to throw at immigrants. They're coming to rape. They're happening with black boys as well. In fact, we didn't even touch last week on all of the things that happened to black boys. That's one thing we didn't touch on. The things that happened to what's that guy's name? The one that did the jobless business.
Oh, Terrell.
Yeah, Terrell Lewis. And do you remember the Terrell Lewis story? He's the one that where he was on the train and the random white girl said that he was sexually abused her. And the man never touched her.
Yeah.
So we had last week we had that. The same week we had the guy that was trying to get into his building and the woman refused to let him get into his building and I called the police on him when he pushed past her and tried to go to his building. Right?
Yeah.
Then we had the little 9-year-old boy, 9-year-old boy that the woman said was sexually assaulting her when all he did was brush past her with his bag, and it just so happens that
it was on video.
That it was on camera,
and he did nothing.
Or they would have then decided that this young 9-year-old boy is somebody that's sexually assaulted a big white woman.
Yep, because if it wasn't for the camera, then I think they would have taken the word serious.
Exactly, and there's free that I just said from last week alone. I think there's a fourth one, but I can't remember what it is. I cannot remember what it is, and if it comes to me, I'll say it. But there's free alone. That's just in the black community. So just taking my black hat on and putting my Asian hat on at the moment. As an Asian man, I'm thinking, shit, man, you know, we don't all rape, you know. And I already remember the stigma in India and Pakistan. They're talking about rape is highly like a big thing. Pedophilia is kind of like a thing there as well. They said they marry off young girls to older men and blah, blah, blah. Then now you're bringing it to this country where some of these young men are born here. They don't understand why you're saying to them that they're all pedophiles. And yes, I get that there's also this stigma and around it, and maybe it's something that he was trying to say. Maybe he was trying to attach it to that stigma and saying, look, these Asians are finally going down. But you're an Asian man as well. So somebody could look at you and say to themselves, well, you're saying these Asian men are going down. Maybe I should be looking at you a bit sideways when you're walking past my daughter.
One time.
Yeah, at the same time. But then also when you become part of the Conservative Party, your what do you call it? Your nationality or your ethnicity goes out the window. You are a conservative. So maybe you look Asian in appearance, but that doesn't mean anything as far as they're concerned anyway. That's how them people operate. You notice all of the black conservatives are what we would quote unquote not consider to be.
Yeah. There's one guy for mayor, isn't he? A black conservative guy. And he's a bit of a coon, isn't he?
Well, is he? I don't know anything about him.
Judging by some of the things that he said, man, he's not rubbing people up the right way. He's being a conservative.
And that's what I'm saying to you. When they become conservative, it's all like ethnicity goes out the window. It
goes out the window. All lives matter on his front.
Well, yeah, all of that. Politically.
But it's a situation. Anyway, guys, we're going to end this show.
Hey.
We're going to end it a bit quick. I think we're a bit earlier. No, I think it's about 1 hour 40 this week.
Oh, wow. That's a short
nice
one,
and sweet.
bro.
So what are you saying? We are more efficient with that stuff?
Of course.
Standard.
Man, bad man, I run things today, Rasta. Yeah, man. Anyway.
Well, you're more time efficient, bruv.
Anyway. Let's do our good church notes. That's what he says, isn't it?
Yeah,
I have to remember all this shit that he says now.
Church
Let's
notes and
do our
goodbyes.
church notes and our goodbyes, and I'm gonna start this week with the man they call Mr. Wolf.
You can catch me on Twitter, aka _Mr. Wolf. I have retweeted that video. Watch the video, it's bad. ESN Pod will retweet it too. Catch me on Instagram on aka Mr. Wolf also. Peace, blessings. See you next week, and register to give blood. Boom.
And man like Simple Simon.
At Simple Simon FB on Twitter. That is where you'll catch me. That's where the action is. I've got no announcements for this week. No major things going on. So you continue to be good to yourselves.
Big things are going.
And be good to your neighbours. And hopefully the goodness will go around and everything will be blessed. Have a good week, people.
All right, so because they're not here, I'm gonna do their church notes. So starting off with the actor. Catch him as that actor. That's DAT. Is it
DATOs.
Is it underscore or something?
No.
DATACTOR.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no underscore, nothing like that. That actor on Instagram and on Twitter.
Isn't he Rebs now?
No. That was just for 1 week.
All right.
And catch Stavros Boss at Stavros Boss everywhere. That's his handle. And even though he's not here, I think you should still tweet him things that he said wrong. just so this week, yeah, just so he's used to, you know, somebody said he said something wrong this week. Even though he's not here, you should still tweet him to say you said this wrong, just so he can be even more upset that he's done nothing and you still finding things to tell him off about.
If you're currently a follower of Stav, just block him and then unblock him again.
Just to make him feel at home with himself.
That's right.
All right, so I'm Big Wahala. You can catch me at Big Wahala on Instagram and Twitter. And for us collectively, it is at ESN Podcast. Again, that's at ESN Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to email us, that's esnpodcast@gmail.com. Facebook is www.facebook.com/ESN Podcasts. Again, that's ESN Podcast with an S.
Blog.
And again, if you want to hashtag us, make sure you hashtag us as ESN Pod. Again, that's hashtag ESN Pod. There's some people that hashtag ESN Podcast, which is fine. I will still find you there as well, but it is the official one is at hashtag ESN Pod. All right.
Plug.
All right. So guys, hopefully I did a good job this week as your host.
You did decent.
All right. Mr. The actor did a wicked intro last week. It was strange hearing so you had two different intros in 2 weeks from two different people, which is odd. Stav's probably turning in his grave right now, even though he's not dead.
I was going to say when you just finished him off like,
dead in it for no reason, you know.
What I'm saying.
But anyway, thank you for everybody that's listened, and hope you have a good week. We'll get you next week when we have episode 96.
Go on.
Nearly 100, boy.
So somebody said the tagline then.
Remember, if you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Mr. Wolf.
Slag for
Big up yourselves. Big up yourself.
I gotta put you like this. It's
big thing.
whore for house, sucker for love, slag for life.
That's how we roll.
Yes.